Hello everyone, my name is Moji. You're watching a Bitcoin Bubble news channel. And I believe this is a very, very strong sign, right? It's not just positive for the next 3 months either. It's not just a small hit. This is not bearish for the next 3, 4, or 5 years. It looks like this market will stay strong for a long time. It looks like 10 times as much money as has ever been used in Bitcoin will be hitting the Bitcoin environment. Mathematician and investor Fred Krueger thinks that Bitcoin will do very well in the future. In his most recent video update, he says that the Bitcoin community will get a huge amount of money, possibly 10 times more than we've seen before. This is why. After the SEC approved a number of spot Bitcoin ETFs earlier this year, investors were looking forward to the 13F reports, which show who has been buying Bitcoin. It was made public last month that a lot of different banks, including the State of Wisconsin Investment Board, Wells Fargo, and JP Morgan, had been buying Bitcoin ETFs. The most recent news showed that Morgan Stanley, a huge financial services company, bought $270 million worth of Grayscale's Bitcoin ETF GBTC. Because of this, Morgan Stanley is now one of the biggest companies that owns Bitcoin. Morgan Stanley manages more than $1.5 trillion in assets, and this allocation shows that the Wall Street giant is becoming more and more sure about Bitcoin's place in portfolios. It joins other big banks like JP Morgan, BNP Paribas, and the Royal Bank of Canada that have said they buy Bitcoin ETFs on the spot. Krueger thinks that this means Bitcoin is about to go on a long-term bull run that could last 3 to 5 years. He is sure that this wave of capital will make more people want to buy Bitcoin, and the fact that more institutions are starting to use it would be a huge step toward Bitcoin becoming widely used. As long as people like him don't sell, prices will continue to rise because there aren't many coins available and more people want them. Be sure to watch all the way to the end of the movie, where Krueger shows how the Bitcoin power law model is not affected by political administrations, SEC rules, or Federal Reserve interest rate policies. Hey guys, I want to let you know that not all of my users are actually subscribers. If you like videos about money, you might want to subscribe, or like this one, you can back out at any time for free. Let's get right to what Fred Krueger has to say. I really believe that this chart shows exactly what is going on. It's just back every year, so we can see that the first 4 years were great. The first 3 years were especially good, with GOX going up 5,000% in 2013. That's 50 times more than in 2013. Then GOX crashed. Then there's this second bull market that ends with the 14x rise in December. In fact, it went up in December, right? But it only looks like 14x. The 75% retracement came next. And then it was pretty much the same thing in the next cycle, though it was much less intense. Then there's this circle. To be safe, I'd like to ask, do we really think that 2026 will be a bad year? I don't think it will be. What do you think? Do I expect more double-digit gains here? Yes, I do. If we keep going at this rate, I think we'll get a 100% return rate in 2025. In 2026, we could have 100% or 75%. We're going to have a great 4 years here. Also, that's all they've done. We're pretty much set for now. We're exactly where Matt says we should be. I agree with this. It's an exciting time to be alive. That you're getting into Bitcoin before this huge wave of money has had time to spread out makes it a great time to do so. Finally, I want to say that I believe 10 times as much money as has ever been invested in Bitcoin will soon be hitting the Bitcoin ecosystem. They will have to buy this Bitcoin from people like me. That's just a fact. I don't want to sell my Bitcoin either. The price will go up because of that. It's not supply, it's demand. That being said, I think the numbers are very convincing. 20% of the wealth in the United States is self-directed. Those are traders who do it for themselves. 40% of the money is handled. That's traders and people who help other people choose investments. Another 40% is made up of organizations. That means pension plans, insurance companies, and other groups that handle large amounts of money. And until the CTF, which I think happened on January 11th, 80% of these institutions couldn't have joined this market. The other 20% had to do something too, right? They either had to keep their money in their own name, which is very hard for most people, or they had to trust an exchange like Coinbase or Kraken. These are fine to use, but they are not FDIC guaranteed. Not many people have those names. They're not like Schwab, Vanguard, Fidelity, or other companies like those. So, until not long ago, let's say 90% of people either couldn't join in the Bitcoin market at all or had a strong reason not to. Everything changed. For one thing, things didn't change all at once. As Matt said, just because the Bitcoin ETF was approved doesn't mean it will be approved on all platforms. In this case, I have a bank account at Goldman Sachs. Bank of America doesn't let me buy Bitcoin ETFs. The same goes for Morgan Stanley and a lot of other places, right? That's why these sites are still in the process of making it possible for their users to buy ETFs. Also, finally, the advice market is one that takes a while to really get going. Why does it do that? That's right, they're going to make two types of good faith choices. First, they need to be sure that their company really wants to get into Bitcoin. Not everyone does. There is no vanguard. They don't think Bitcoin is a real thing. Also, they don't like gold very much. Some people are really just starting to look into Bitcoin, right? That being said, if you're an insurance business or a pension fund, you may have never thought about stocks or bonds. There are people who know a lot about the markets and have models, but they've never really thought about Bitcoin as a serious investment. Like putting 1%, 2%, 3%, or 5% of their money in it. Before making that choice, they need to do some research, or better yet, a lot of research, because they are responsible for a lot of money, and no one wants to lose their job because they bought Bitcoin and it turned out to be a scam. They need to make it clear that it's not a scam. That's why Bitcoiners forget about it. Some places like Morgan Stanley are just now starting to show signs that they might be ready to accept Bitcoin. This process has been going on for about 5 months now, and there are reports that they may be close to doing so. This part of rolling out is just beginning now. And I believe this is a very, very strong sign, right? It's not just positive for the next 3 months either. It's not just a small hit. No, this is good news for the next 3, 4, or 5 years. It looks like this market will stay strong for a long time. It looks like 10 times as much money as has ever been used in Bitcoin will be hitting the Bitcoin environment. Yes, Fred Krueger thinks Bitcoin will go up in value. Some people might think that the idea that Bitcoin is better than other asset classes is too good to be true, but hearing Krueger talk about the Bitcoin market and the Powell model can help us see what it can really do. That's it, guys. If you're still here, it means you're interested in crypto, and I have something special for you. Make sure you sign up for our daily 5-minute crypto newsletter if you want to know what's new in the world of crypto and Bitcoin. In a nutshell, it has estimates from experts, breaking news, and top-on-chain analysis. Join more than 60,000 other people who have already clicked the first link in the description and start getting better at investing in crypto.